Both the Democratic and Republican national conventions are all wrapped up. The importance of women voters will play in the election season is clearer than ever. Last week we saw Ann Romney rally women voters, and this week First Lady Michelle Obama did the same thing for Democrats. But it's not just the candidates' wives who are reaching out to this important voting bloc. Pretty much everyone who made a political speech at either convention seemed to be convincing the audience that their candidate would do right by women, American women, in jobs, health care, and other important issues. So why is this year more important than ever for the women voter? Today we are joined by Heather Flipowitz, and she is the executive director of the Western New York Women's Foundation. So why do you think women are playing such an important role this year?
Well, I think women play an important role every year, but definitely more is at stake with this election, I think, than ever before. And there's a lot of undecided voters. So both parties, locally, state, federal, are really hammering away at women's issues and really talking and targeting women as voters. So the highlight of the wives, evenings devoted to women's issues at the convention, it's really unheard of and unprecedented, and this is very, very exciting.
So do you think the women will decide the election this year?
I think that women have a greater role than ever before. Anytime a woman can educate herself on the issues that are important to her in any election, in their neighborhoods or as a presidential election, it's pretty critical. And when women's voices are heard and united, change happens.
How do women in politics approach it differently than men in politics?
I think women are more with their heart. We know we're wives, we're mothers, we're sisters, we're friends. And so we're pretty passionate about things that involve our lives on a daily basis. So as a mom, issues affecting my son, like child care and health care reform, that means a lot to me as a mom. So I'm going to educate myself more on that. And I think that's just sort of how women vote, is they vote with their passion, with their heart, maybe with their emotions a little bit more than men do. But we're pretty critical this year, and it's exciting.
And what advice would you have for women or young women who really want to get involved and make an impact in the political scene?
Educate themselves on the issues first and foremost, and then look at where the candidates stand. And if you feel extremely passionate about a candidate, if it's a man or a woman, get behind them, volunteer your time. But educating yourself on the issues is the most critical point. But you have to vote. You really do. I mean, everyone thinks that their vote doesn't matter, but it truly does.
I have to ask you a question. You know, women having an opinion on how taxes should be or how healthcare should be are one thing, but then when you get personal women's issues involved in politics, I think that takes it to a kind of new level. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that anytime our issues are in the forefront, it opens the world to that issue. So if it's an issue that's an intimate issue or that women talk amongst themselves, and that's how they feel comfortable and it's in the national spotlight, I think that's amazing because it opens people's eyes, and then more women don't feel like they're alone and that this is important to other women.
And just tell us a little bit more about your foundation.
So the Western New York Women's Foundation, we raise money and convene stakeholders and do programs that empower women and girls in Western New York. So we focus on child care, after-school programming, and ensuring women can get and keep a family-sustaining job. All critical issues for families in Western New York. And we're really proud of our work, and we have a lot of work to do, but every day we're making strides in changing things in Western New York.
And where can people get more information on your foundation?
WNYWomen'sFoundation.org is our website, and I really appreciate you guys having me on, and talking about women's issues is so critical.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
And for now, we're going to send things on over to Emily Lenahan with your .com check. Hey, Emily.